I just making a follow-up video to my last video because I had a few questions, and it was really good because the people who asked the questions actually had the same experiences. So that really shows that a lot of people on the right track. There was three things. One was when I talked about the central sun, how it's releasing this energy. I'm not referring to our sun. I'm referring to the Syrian sun. So we've got a binary star system, but they've been keeping that under wraps. But that's all going to come out eventually because all the truth's going to come out. All right. So when I talk about the central sun, that's what I'm referring to. The Syrian in the Syrian star constellation, the sun there. Number two was a whole heap of people have been feeling, when you get real tired and you feel exhausted, and why is that happening? Well, the reason why that's happening, as this energy comes out, it's actually activating our dormant DNA. So when they talk about our junk DNA, they use the word junk to try to make it, seem like junk, but it's not junk. It's how we were originally created. So we're going back to how we were originally created with this energy coming in. So as that DNA activates, we're going to start getting really, basically, we're going to get abilities that what you perceive in the matrix as magic is actually, we're actually going to start getting those abilities. Once we transcend to 5D, we become co-creators. So when they talk about man was created in the image of God, so or source, whatever you want to call it. So God can create, and we are co-creators. Hence, we're created in the image of God. So we can't create like God, obviously, but to a smaller scale, we can create our own universe, so to speak, as in our universe, not the entire universe. So we're going to start developing these abilities. So when this DNA starts to activate, so you can imagine when this is all happening in the body, it's going to make you really, really tired and exhausted. And not only that, we're going from a carbon state to a crystalline state. So our body structure is literally changing within. So this requires a lot of, a lot of energy to do. And as we move from the carbon state to the crystalline state allows us to absorb more energy. So that's why we're going to start lifting exponentially when it comes to our spiritual development, because internally we're going through a change as well. So we're going to be able to absorb more energy, all right? So that was number two. And number three was the time lapses. A lot of people get time lapses, and I was going through that I started going through that probably, 3 years ago, and time just all of a sudden goes. And I thought I'd finished it, but then I hadn't had some for ages. And a perfect example, about, 3 nights ago, my mate called me up and said, "Do you want to go for a pub meal?" I said, "Yeah, cool." So we went to the pub. I had a beer, which I hadn't had in a long time, and we played some pool with the locals, which was really cool. And I only live I'm 16 kilometres from the pub, so live in the middle of nowhere, but 16 k's only takes, 6 minutes to get home. Anyway, I was driving home, and I was in like a real blissful kind of mindset. And all of a sudden I come to, and I'm like, shit, I've been driving for a long time. And I got really disorientated. I mean, this was only 3 days ago. And I had to pull over in the car, right? And so from the pub to our house, it's one turn. It's just a right turn. You drive down to our house. And I was driving. I had to pull over, and I had to get my Google Maps out. And I Google mapped, and I'd driven 22 kilometres past our place. It was really odd. I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? And I was something like 17 minutes away from home when it's a 6-minute trip. So I had to turn around and drive back. But these time lapses are happening because we're going from a 3D state into 4D, and we're fluctuating. And then when we get to 5D, time actually doesn't exist, but that's another video to make, because that gets real intense and it's really hard to comprehend. But yeah, so if you're starting to get the time lapses, that's normal as well, all right? And also if you're getting the wonder why you're so tired and that, it's because we're literally going through this transformation stage. So, yeah, it was really good to get the questions from people. And, yeah, again, I hope this helps, and have an awesome day.